Yo, this is Terrell, Hall of Fame, D-Line, tbkc, and all that sweet, beautiful, wonderful shit. Man, I could tell y'all about Chubb. I know a lot of people have been calling and asking about Chubb. Chubb's a monster, not even a year old yet, big. And when I say big, he's still like pretty much pocket. He's still 16 inches, just a ton of mass. You know what I mean? Pretty much the biggest out of all of, he's bigger. Keep in mind, Odell hit the scale at 92 pounds, and he's standing next to Odell. He's a little taller, but he's visibly that type of size already. So he's going to be a monster, you know what I mean? Like, hey, with them boys, you take advantage of it if you want to. If not, that's on you. But I want to talk about something else. And we're talking about the Ponzi scheme. And this is what I'm saying. I've told you guys about this many a times before. I've given you a lot of advice on this. When it comes to the American bully / exotic / extreme world, it's a reason why Ponzi schemes are the way they are. And if people aren't exactly, you know what I mean, up on what a Ponzi scheme is, because someone asked me that. It was named after a guy. His last name was Ponzi. And the whole basis of the scheme is that you take one person's money and you pay another person, but you're promising big gains every time. So what you're doing is you're illustrating these initial gains through other people's money. Then they reinvest and they leave the money in there because they saw the initial profit, and that's all you had to do is to gain their trust. So you see, they believe, okay, I invested 100,000, I got 120 back in 2 months. That's cool. You know what I mean? Let me go ahead and put 250 in there, and then they might even hit you the second time. You put the 250 in there, they'll give you 300 back. And you're like, oh shit, if it's like this, you know. And then the next time they come back, you tell them, look, man, you got to leave this money in here for a year, but I can give you a great return on your investment. Okay, what are we talking about? Give me $1 million and I'll get you 1.4 in a year. Cool. So the person puts in the 1.4 because they've seen the profits, which were really not profits. They were taken from other investors to give them the money just so they can gain their confidence to put it back in. Eventually what happens is, over that year span, they use their $1 million, they get more and more people in, so the kitty is getting bigger. So every time somebody wants their money or to a show of their money, the money is actually there, which, because we all are entrepreneurs and we want to get more, that'll make us put more in. Eventually it all crumbles. And the thing about this is that this has especially been the exotic community. A lot of people are talking about, why aren't the exotics selling? I'm seeing the prices go down. The exotic community seems to be dying. You know, a lot of the exotic people are saying they're getting out the game because they can't sell their dogs, yada, yada, yada. I've told you guys this before. I'm just looking at some idiot flying through this parking lot. But I've told you guys this before, and I've told you guys this several times. It was never a market that they tried to make it out to be. Whether it was the extreme dogs and they're telling you they're paying all this money. You have people at the top. You'll have the big kennels that have the big names that can tell you, you know, this is an investment. It's not a dog, it's an investment. It's not a dog, it's an investment. So what they're telling you is, look at me. I've got nice cars. I've got nice things. I can afford this. Sometimes they'll shame you. You know, those other dogs are for broke people, yada, yada, yada. So some people have way overextended. I've known a lot of people who've gotten loans and this and that and the other to go and buy a $15,000, $20,000, $25,000, $35,000 puppy, with the thought in their mind that even if I spend $35,000 on this female, I spend $10,000 on the stud, I'm going to be out of $45,000. But the bitch will have, you know what I'm saying, 6, 7 puppies on the first litter. Even if I'm only selling them at $10,000 a puppy, which should be easy, I'll recoup all my losses. The next litter, it'll be straight profit. I'll get a couple more. I'm maximizing the profits. The only thing is, the problem is, what they're finding out is that when they have their puppies, no one wants to buy them. No one is coming in to buy these dogs. They're ending up in the shelters. They're ending up in here, there, everywhere. They can't sell them. Trust me, I work with animal rescues. I work with a shelter. And bottom line, when we do transports, you see a lot of exotics. You see a lot of exotic type dogs. You see a lot of American bullies. You see a lot of extreme type American bullies. And you see more of the extreme than the exotic type dogs. The reason being is that these people are literally keeping the dogs. They can't sell the dogs at all. It's, you know, they're marketing them every day. I got this one. I got this one. I got this one. It's a million of those breeders. So what they end up doing is they end up dropping them off at parks. They're dropping them off in Walmart parking lots. They're dropping them off one of the more popular places to drop these dogs off at, because there's cameras around most of the animal shelters. So they're sort of scared to go by those places and just dump a litter. But they'll dump them at parks, like public parks, because they know, like, the park police or whoever's gonna call, like, hey, it's a bunch of dogs down here running around. Or they put they put some dogs in a pavilion in a cage, and we just found some abandoned dogs. So who has to go pick them up? The animal shelter. And then they don't have to pay the fees to turn these dogs in, because generally it's like $150 to turn a dog in. And this is what's going on. It was bound to happen. I've been telling y'all this for years. This is why you don't breed dogs for popularity. You don't breed dogs to try to become rich, because the truth of the matter is that the dog market is not what they make it to be. What has happened with this idea and them talking big money and this and that and the other, 40,000, 50,000, all this, is that a lot of people who really don't care about dogs and who don't love dogs and were just looking to make a come up have gotten in this thing and really killed the game. You know what I mean? Really, really killed the game. Now the breed is way, way overpopulated. They've done the same thing. The Frenchies pushing the French Bulldogs to being the #1 breed in the world when they were a rare breed all of like 15 years ago. Now they're the #1 produced breed in the world, filled with a ton of issues, a ton of this, that, and the other. And it's sad. It's not to make fun of the situation. It's to be real in the situation. In this situation, we are seeing something that could affect the dog community greatly for years to come. I hate to see it that way, but it's something to think about. You are not going to get rich, you know what I mean, with the high dollar dog market. You're just not. Those guys are telling you things, but if you pay close attention to a lot of those guys, especially some of the big hustlers in the game, some of them are making those sales because they're convincing, people who got money that this is the new hustle and this is that and the other. But others are coming into the game with money that they already had from different things. And it's just not what you think it is. So don't get in this thing and believe that you're going to get rich with dogs. Get into it for a passion, get into it for a love, get into it for a family companion. Hopefully you can win some shows, and if you decide to breed, you produce some quality that will help better the breed. With all that said, until next time, God bless y'all. Much love. Peace.